Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have 20 listings. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but here's the thing. Article in the Star. This came across my radar 2 days ago, and this house is creepy as shit. Pardon my French, but look at this. So outside, unassuming, and it's not even that expensive. It's $240,000. Look at these pictures. Could you imagine sleeping in this room? It's just fascinating to me. I mean, wow, this is just on another level. I guess clown staging is a long lost art, but man, look at these pictures. Look at the wallpaper. Now, all I'm seeing is investment property for $239,000 in Brantford, and I'll tell you, they're putting a lot of money into Brantford's downtown. I think it's a good little place to buy, and we do see clients that sell a townhouse in Milton go buy a double garage for almost the same price in Brantford. So I like this town, but this house, scary. I hope I didn't give you nightmares about that. Anyway, next thing I want to talk about is the Milton Price Report. And you can subscribe to the Milton Price Report at, funny enough, miltonpricereport.com. And just leave us your information. We send a weekly update out. But this is the report. And if there's any graph that tells the complete story about the market right now, it's this one. So typically, let's go back to 2016. So you can see the gray is the number of sales. And this line here is the number of active listings, right? So we find people ask me when's a good time to buy or sell in Milton. You can see that for the most part, the ratio between the sales and the listings is, pretty, it's consistent. There was a tight month here where a lot of the listings ended up selling. Then it loosened up a little bit here. Sometimes that even happens depending on when the listings come out. There's a bit of a carryover effect. And December was good. There were more sales than active listings, which means that some of the inventory from here was swallowed up. Anyway, look at 2017. So we had the number of listings was down from last year. Then in March, it went up here, and I thought, okay, something's going on. At that point, would have been a good time for people to put their home on the market right when things were going like this. And then April shot up. I had to make a new graph because we were capping at like 400 here. We were 580 listings in April, and it doesn't appear to be letting up. And you can see historically, if I pulled the last 4 or 5 years, we're looking at this kind of stuff. So we have never in Milton see inventory levels like this. It just hasn't happened. So there's other things. Obviously, people like to scapegoat the Ontario Fair Housing Plan, but this started before that plan was ever public. It probably a week before we started going, something's not the same, and then that was announced, and everyone thought it was that, but it wasn't. It was the inventory, the supply demand has completely changed. So that being said, that leads me to what I want to talk about today. So the second home on the list on Attenborough, they're offering a 3% commission to agents. And so typically, I would say 90% of the homes out there are offering a 2.5% compensation to the buyer's agent. And what can happen when markets shift from strong seller, because there's even pressure on the fees. There's some agents that in February, March, have offered 2% or 2.25. But what we see in a more balanced setting is that we start to see that the people that really want to sell or really are sort of waving their hands going, pick me, one of the ways that they believe they can do that is by increasing the compensation to the agent. I understand on some level that sort of helps the agent lean towards showing the house, but ultimately if the client doesn't want to buy it, doesn't matter what you're offering. So you still need a good product, and I kind of disagree with that whole thing of compensating the agent versus somehow compensating the buyer. But anyway, it happens, and it's just a reality. So July 21st is the closing for this one. So they have a very clearly indicated goal line that they want to hit, and they are offering more compensation. This home usually sells for a good penny. I've seen mid 500 sales of this model. So it should go for more. And it's like, do you need to offer that 3% when you know that the price is such that it should get a lot of activity? But again, nothing's guaranteed. And I sent an email out to the price report list and I said, you can't play the cards you wish you had. You got to play the cards you're dealt. And in this market, nothing is guaranteed. This one on Gifford also offering a 3% commission. And then if you go down to, where is it? Zimmerman here. So they're using the other sort of second approach, which is we're going to put it out at the 2.5%. And if it's sold by May 19th, then we're going to give an extra $2,500 to the agent. And again, I look at that and say, if I'm expecting that much, I'd rather use that money as a negotiating tool. But some agents might not even tell that to their clients. But anyway, that's just something. It's all about what the agent's value system is. But I kind of wish it was a little bit more of a direct path to the buyer in most cases, or at least that there's full disclosure to the buyer. And it should happen, but it often doesn't. Now, Chandler might be one of the least expensive ways to get a double car garage. These ones are hard to price because there's not many of them out there. Attached house, but it has a double car garage. So it's like, you've got the 3-story ones, but this is obviously not a 3-story. There's not a real backyard here, so you kind of have a courtyard. There's no second story like there is on some of the detached homes, and then all I know is it's more than 2,000 square feet. What you get when you move the garage out is it shrinks the yard, but then now this house doesn't have to deal with the L shape, because typically you've got a garage and the house is kind of built around the garage on the first floor. On the second floor it sits on top, so you have an extra 400 square feet. But your main level ends up looking like a dining room on this side, plus you need stairs and powder room, closet, and then kitchen, family room. But when that's gone, now it creates a more square layout. It's like you can have kitchen interacting with all of the other rooms almost in kind of a grid pattern. So it allows for a lot of different options in terms of layout. But, trade-off as well. So it's just a matter of what the buyer's preference is. But the price looks pretty good to me. So that's it. My favorite pick is probably Sunnyvale, but I don't want to keep you here all day. So pictures aren't great, but I think the home is kind of cool, and it's a lot less expensive than buying a new detached home. And I just think it's kind of cute, and it's got a good layout. So if you need to reach us for anything, we're here for you, and we'll be back here tomorrow with another episode. See you later.